Hello and welcome back to day 6 of the Dusty Classic. We're getting there now. Well, we're not, are we? There's still so much more to go. Right, we're kicking things off tonight with the Butcher and the Blade versus the Hybrid 2, Angelico and Jack Evans in our first match. Our second match will be the Hollywood Blondes, Flying Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin, versus the Varsity Blondes, Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. So that should be a fun one. Blade just completely destroys the referee to start things off. That's always fun. So a full-on AEW affair in this first match, and AEW in our second match as well, of course. So this should be an interesting one. This is probably one of the more even matches we've had so far in the first round. Not that it makes too much of a difference in this game, because it doesn't really matter who you are, does it? The game's going to throw out a random winner anyway. Braxton Sutter now with the big elbows into the head of Angelico, the Blade that is, of course. Andy Williams, the Butcher, on the outside with Jack Evans. We'll get there eventually. Wow. Butcher just flattened Jack Evans, and Braxton Sutter there flattening Angelico in the middle of the ring as well. And so far the Butcher and the Blade are in control this one, as Butcher now with a baseball bat to the spine of Jack Evans. Braxton Sutter going for the quick win, only a 1 count. And you would imagine the Butcher's definitely going to have the strength advantage in this one. He's much bigger than his opponents. But of course, Angelico and Jack Evans, two incredibly agile competitors, very quick. And of course, Angelico has an incredible submission wrestling background as well. Known primarily, to me anyway, I think a lot of people, for his high-flying ability, but really showcased over the last 6 months an incredible affinity for submission wrestling as well. Williams now with the arm breaker on Jack Evans, while Sutter drops Angelico neck first across the top rope. And the Butcher now with a choke slam. Braxton Sutter dropping Angelico as well. Butcher and the Blade looking very good here. This has got to be all, isn't it? No. Only a 2 count for Sutter over Angelico, but now the Butcher goes in for the pin on Jack Evans, and that's only a 2 count as well. Holy guacamole. I mean, Butcher and Blade are dominating this. They really are, but there's the pin by Williams. Only a 1 count. It got broken up. Sutter now with a backbreaker on Angelico. Dropping a boot right in the back of the arm. Oh, what a boot right in the face of Angelico by Sutter as well. Jack Evans with the jawbreaker on the Butcher. And now, wow, spinneroonie there by Jack Evans. Boot in the gut of Braxton Sutter now into the DDT. Jack Evans now running forearm on Sutter, and again, nice into the Pele kick. What do I call it? I mean, it's called the Pele kick, but it's Pele, isn't it? Let's not get over the top. It's Pele. Wow, look at the strength of the Butcher. Oh, Angelico got dropped right on the Butcher's shoulder there. Big, powerful maneuver. That's going to cause some damage. And now it's 2-on-1 on the inside of the ring. Sutter now taking Jack Evans up on top. He looks like he's looking for a super duperplex to the outside. One of the most pointless maneuvers on this entire game, unless it's a Falls Count Anywhere match. Williams drops to the outside now, bringing Jack Evans back up to a standing base. Into the ring he goes. And it's Blade and Angelico now on the outside of the ring. Angelico in control of the momentum at the moment with lots of agile spinning kicks and so forth, but Sutter does turn it around, but doesn't last. Nice. I must admit, Angelico is one of my favourite wrestlers in Lucha Underground. We've not seen enough of him in AEW for me, but I'm sure we'll see a lot more moving forward. There's a big chokeslam there, though, by Andy Williams, the Butcher. And there's the free count. The Butcher and the Blade move through to round 2 of the Dusty Classic. The Hybrid 2 unfortunately eliminated in the first round, but I'm sure we'll see them again quite a lot I'm unsure. I mean, with the amount of tag teams we have, I might do it, but I'm unsure whether I should bring in a junior heavyweight tag team division as well. Sort of like a cruiserweight tag team division. We have a lot of fantastic tag teams that could be in that, and I feel like we might end up doing that as well. In the future, that is. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've got a 128 tag team Dusty Classic to get through first. And this was only... What is this now? This is match number 13? No. This is match number 11. Match number 11. This is the first... This is the 21st and 22nd tag team we've seen so far in this tournament. We haven't even seen 20% of them yet. That's a lot of tag teams, isn't it? Anyway, let's get on to the main match of tonight's episode. And here we go then. Here is our second match of the evening. As promised, the Hollywood Blondes, stunning Steve Austin and flying Brian Pillman, go up against the Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. This should be a very interesting match indeed. Of course, father and son coming up against each other here with Pillman and Pillman Jr. I'm looking forward to this. I really am. My original plan was to have the Pillmans together as a tag team, but I thought this might be a more fun way of getting them out there. But I'm sure we'll use them as a tag team at some point. And here we go then. We are underway. And you see the interesting split here. The Pillmans have gone different ways. Brian Pillman Jr. facing off against stunning Steve Austin, with flying Brian Pillman up against Griff Garrison. I'm a big Brian Pillman Jr. fan, I must admit. But at the moment, it's the Hollywood Blondes who are looking incredibly strong. Brian Pillman Jr. avoiding stunning Steve Austin, dropping him into a backdrop. Nice boot in the spine. Another one there by Pillman Jr. And see on the outside, Griff Garrison now controlling, flying Brian Pillman as well. I like Griff Garrison as well, you know. I do. I must admit, I'm a right old AEW mark now. Anyway, to be honest, anything they put out, I generally enjoy. I know it's not good that way, but yeah, I've lost the quality filter now. And unless everything they put out is just great, it's been a long time since I've disagreed with something that AEW have done. But it's Revolution tomorrow night. Let's see what happens. That's flying Brian Pillman there, showing his strength to just lift Griff Garrison up. Now stunning Steve Austin with a baseball bat. And how weird is it? I'm assuming some people have never seen Steve Austin with hair before. But how weird is it to see Steve Austin there with the blonde hair? When was this? This was early 90s, obviously, wasn't it? Strike in the face by Pillman, running forearm, taking down Austin as well. And now he's finally seen the Pillmans up against each other. It's Brian Pillman Jr. who drop kicks his father. That's a weird sentence, isn't it? Big boot in the back of the arm of Pillman as well, as Pillman brings Pillman back up to his feet. This is going to get confusing. Junior now taking down Pillman. Griff Garrison's back up on his feet as well. Stunning Steve with a DDT on Brian Pillman Jr. Flying Brian Pillman takes down Griff Garrison. And Austin now going in with a submission. I'm not quite sure what that submission was, to be honest. Like half a figure four. It's like he locked in the figure four and didn't roll it through. But it doesn't matter because the Hollywood Blondes are victorious. And they will move through to round 2 of the Dusty Classic. I mean, Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison can definitely be proud of themselves tonight. They gave a great account of themselves. But it was the experience edge, I would imagine, of flying Brian Pillman and stunning Steve Austin that really got them through it tonight. There's still the opportunity with Griff Garrison outside the ring to try and finish this match off, and they took it. And I think rating-wise, it would have been an upset victory for the Varsity Blondes to win. I mean, they've got a great potential, great future, the pair of them, but at the moment, they are still on the beginning of their careers. And the Hollywood Blondes move into round number 2 there, where they will face off against the Butcher and the Blade. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video from the Dusty Classic. We'll be back tomorrow with another 4 matches, and I will see you all then. Good night, God bless, all the other good stuff. Like and subscribe and all that other good stuff. I don't know, I'm just babbling now. Good night, goodbye. Love you all.